KCPFR system can share the purchase demand and jointly manage inventory by the purchaser's suppliers, describes the features and operational menus of co-managed inventory management techniques. The joint inventory management method is centered on the buyer and the supplier dividing the purchase demand. For example, for materials that require 3,000 pieces every 3 months, the buyer holds only 1 month as production inventory and the supplier holds 2 months as safety inventory. The current rapidly changing business environment requires variable and rapid material response, so it is necessary to maintain proper safety inventory. In short, the supplier functions as a purchaser's safety inventory warehouse, and the purchaser secures safety inventory without purchasing it at a cost. Of course, the number of months can be adjusted to whatever you want as an option. Each purchaser's supplier has a set amount of inventory and is managed to maintain it continuously. When the purchaser exhausts the material through production input, the supplier automatically delivers it, and the supplier himself creates and secures a set quantity for himself.
In particular, it is characterized by pooling demand management. The demand is divided and held by the purchaser's supplier on a monthly basis. Buyers only hold January, the supplier holds February and March. Next month, the buyers will hold February and the supplier will hold March and April. Next month, the buyers holds only March and the supplier holds April and May. In other words, it will be managed with 3 months of demand. Usually, if the demand is 3 months, most emergency demand can be covered. In addition, the supplier delivers and exhausts what is prepared in January for carryover, and exhausts what is prepared for carryover in March. Therefore, both can optimize inventory management without missing malicious inventory even with a minimum quantity. The pooling method manages the demand, and both can be adjusted as many months as possible.
The buyer only needs to manage the purchase demand. In other words, the burden of work will also be greatly reduced. The rest are done by the ICT system and suppliers called KCPFR. Especially importantly, there is an automatic delivery function, so everything is possible. When the buyer's inventory is exhausted, the server instructs the delivery, and the supplier automatically delivers it in a set unit and produces and secures the required quantity again. The KCPFR system is an intelligent system that automatically manages the purchase demand. If the demand is 3,000, it is divided into 1,000 and 2,000, 5,000 is divided into 2,000 and 3,000, 7,500 cotton, 2,500, 4,500 light. We divide the inventory quantity and ensure that it is maintained continuously as determined by the purchaser's supplier in consultation. Describes the operating menu of the KCPFR system. The Joint Inventory Management System operation menu must be interactive in both directions to the purchaser's supplier. Therefore, the automatic delivery function is difficult with the existing purchase management system that only aims to secure inventory from buyers. However, in the joint inventory management method, the purchaser's information must be delivered to the supplier to support the supplier's management, so the operation menu must be used separately for purchase and delivery, and the two-way interactive function must be displayed. Demand information management is the most important management item. If the demand for production materials changes due to changes in the sales plan, it is updated so that the demand information is also real-time information. In particular, since it is managed by a monthly requirement rollover method, safe management of all purchasers and suppliers is possible even with the minimum quantity. Of course, the number of months can be adjusted by item as an option. Of course, the buyer's inventory should be managed with real-time information. If you enter the basic quantity and continuously update the quantity of material shipments, real-time inventory information will be maintained. IoT devices such as barcodes, QR sensors, RFID, and mobile devices are used. Bulk materials in the box as well as barcode QR functions are possible, making it easy to manage the quantity of items that are packaged and managed, such as bolt nuts. Order management is performed automatically. If there is a change in the amount required or inventory, it will be automatically calculated and notified to the supplier, who will reacquire the required quantity. What is important is that unlike the existing system, order management and delivery management are separated. In other words, in this process, the supplier only secures additional demand and does not deliver it. This is an automatic delivery management function. If the ICT system informs you of the quantity that needs to be replenished because the buyer's inventory is exhausted, the supplier will automatically deliver it. The buyer's exhaust quantity is refilled, and the supplier also secures the shortage quantity again. There is a YouTube link in the PDF material I am sending you separately, and you can watch the operation of the KVMI system in a video. If you just add demand management to the system, it's joint inventory management, or co-managed inventory control. Thank you.